Daniel and Ella had been together for nearly 4 years. Their relationship had withstood the awkwardness of early dates, the chaos of career changes, and the subtle shifts of growing older together. They had built something solid, something real, so they thought. But beneath her joy, a shadow lingered. Ella has always been analytical, the kind of woman who read between the lines. She was someone who needed clarity in everything she does. The question haunted her: can love withstand temptation? She didn't just want words. She wanted proof. She needed to know that Daniel's heart was truly hers. Daniel was everything she wanted: honest, steady, deeply kind, and charming. But she had known betrayal. She had watched her mother crumble after her father's affair. The relationship between her parents has made her very hard-hearted. So she promised herself she would never walk blindly into that kind of pain. She needed to know, truly know, that Daniel is different and nothing like her dad. So she decided to do something drastic. She called Eunice, her friend, and shared her plans with her. "I need your help," Ella said. "You want me to seduce your man?" Eunice asked, raising a perfectly sculpted eyebrow. "Not to take him from me," Ella said quickly. "I just want to see if he's as loyal as I think." Eunice paused. "You realize this could go very badly." "I need to know," Ella whispered, "before I walk down the aisle." Eunice agreed, but neither of them anticipated what would unfold. Eunice was a distant friend, more of a once-in-a-while brunch companion than a close confidant. Striking and intelligent, Eunice carried herself with the confidence of someone who never chased. She let the world come to her. With her effortless beauty, honey-smooth voice, and the charisma that drew men to her. Ella told Eunice every detail about Daniel's work and meetings, just so Eunice can plan. It was in the evening, and Eunice was already at one of the venues Daniel was having a meeting. So she waited at the car park, pretending to have a car issue. As Daniel walked towards his car, he noticed Eunice and walked past her without giving her attention. Then Eunice called for his help, and Daniel assisted her fix the car. Afterwards, they spoke for a while, as he was friendly. She thanked him, and she offered to take him out for dinner. But he refused politely. Eunice smiled as Daniel walked away. She admired him for not wavering. That evening, Eunice called Ella and told her Daniel passed the test. Ella was happy. He didn't fall for her. But she wanted more. She wanted Eunice to go after Daniel again. But Eunice refused. After Ella pleaded, Eunice agreed again with Ella's plan. Over the next months, Daniel and Eunice crossed paths more often. Eunice began to enjoy the game. Daniel was different. Her glances lingering a little too long. Her finger brushing his arms. He never took the bait. He was kind, even fond of her in a distant way, but never inappropriate. But something unexpected started to happen. Daniel began to look forward to seeing Eunice. He didn't want it. He tried to ignore the way her presence calmed him, the way she laughed at his driest jokes, the way her voice softened when she spoke about dreams. He never thought of touching her, but there was something magnetic, a pull that had nothing to do with lust and everything to do with connection. Over the next few days, Daniel found himself replaying his conversation with Eunice. He thought of how she laughed at odd things, quoted obscure poetry, and lingered in silence without feeling them. While Ella never takes interest in Daniel's career, Eunice has helped him develop a marketing strategy that has made him scale his business. And something about that construct unsettled him, not because he wanted Eunice, but because he realized that for all the love he had for Ella, there were parts of him that she didn't see. Only Eunice had accidentally stirred. Even though he was not tempted romantically, he began to notice something in Eunice, a depth in her thoughts, a sensitivity in her humor, a calmness in the way she listened. He didn't flirt, didn't touch, didn't stray, but he became confused. Eunice was passionate, energetic, and nurturing. The revelation didn't hit Ella until weeks later, when Daniel sat her down. "There is something we need to talk about," he said. "You are scaring me." Daniel said, "It's not what you think." He started talking about Eunice. I didn't fall for her. I didn't do anything inappropriate. But meeting her made me realize something. Ella braced herself and asked, "Who is Eunice?" As if she doesn't know her. Daniel didn't answer her. He just continued talking. There were sides of me, things I never really shown you, not because I didn't want to. Maybe I didn't even realize they were there. But Eunice saw them, and it's making me think. Ella's heart pounded. Think what? That maybe we have been so comfortable with each other that we stopped exploring. I don't want to lose what we have, but I want to know that we are growing, not just settling. Tears welled in her eyes. I set it up. Ella said, "I asked Eunice to do that. I asked her to test you." Daniel's eyes widened in surprise. "You mean you know Eunice?" "I needed to know," Ella continued. "My parents' marriage made me not to trust men. I'm sorry I did all that." Daniel was quiet for a long time. "You didn't trust me enough to believe I was already choosing you every day." Then he said, "You tested me, but somehow I just realized I wasn't being tested. I was waking up." Then Daniel walked away. Weeks passed, and they met again. Daniel said, "I passed your test. I never betrayed you. But something about that test, it showed me I wasn't sure anymore. I just didn't know it until I met her." The silence was long and painful. Ella's voice broke. "You fell in love with her." Daniel said, "I don't know if it is love yet, but it is real." She swallowed hard. "So everything we built was just a bridge to her?" she asked. "No," Daniel said. "Everything we built was real, but maybe it was meant to end here." Daniel wasn't angry, but something had cracked. Not because of the test, but because the test had brought someone into his life who made him question everything. Eunice, who had initially played along for fun, had grown to admire Daniel's sincerity. She hadn't expected to fall, but she had come to love him. It's obvious they want each other. After a while, Ella and Eunice met and talked about everything. She explained she didn't mean this to happen, but it just happened. Ella understood and blamed herself for ever considering to test Daniel. She told Eunice to continue with Daniel if she loved him. Ella was alone as she recounts past events, tears running down her cheek. Not just from the heartbreak, but from the weight of regret. She had tested love like it was a game. I thought I needed certainty, she said. I wanted him to prove he wouldn't stray. But in doing that, I broke something between us. I forgot that trust isn't about passing a test. I wanted a guarantee, but love doesn't come with one. Just a choice. And I didn't choose to trust. I chose to test, and I lost him.